Fear is the major ingredient of pain. Fear is what makes pain hurt. Take away the fear, and all that's left is a feeling. In the mid-1970s, in a poor and remote forest monastery in northeast Thailand, I had a bad toothache. There was no dentist to go to, no telephone, no electricity. And we didn't even have any aspirin or Tylenol in the medicine chest. In the late evening, as often seems to happen with sickness, the toothache began to grow steadily worse. I considered myself quite a tough monk, but that toothache was testing my strength. One side of my mouth was solid with pain. It was by far the worst toothache I had ever had, or have ever had since. I tried to escape the pain by meditating on my breath. I had learned to focus on my breath when mosquitoes were biting. Sometimes I could even count 40 mosquitoes on my body at the same time. And I was able to overcome the feeling by focusing on my breath. But the pain of this toothache was extraordinary. I would fill my mind with the feeling of the breath for only 2 or 3 seconds, and the pain would kick in the door of the mind that I'd closed and come bursting in with a furious force. I got up, went outside, and tried walking meditation. I soon gave that up as well. I wasn't walking meditation. I was running meditation. I just couldn't walk slowly. The pain was in control. It made me run. But there was nowhere to run to. I was in agony. I was going crazy. I ran back into my hut, sat down. I started chanting. Buddhist chants are said to possess supernormal healing powers. They can bring you fortune, drive away dangerous animals, and cure sickness and pain. Or so it is said. I didn't believe it. I'd been trained as a scientist. Magical chanting was all hocus pocus, only for the gullible. So I began chanting, hoping beyond reason that the chanting would work. I was desperate. I soon had to stop that as well. I realized I was shouting the words, screaming them. It was very late, and I was afraid I would wake up the other monks. In fact, with the way I was bellowing out those verses, I would probably have woken up the whole village a couple of kilometers away. The power of the pain wouldn't let me chant normally. I was alone, in a remote village with no facilities, in unendurable pain with no escape. I had tried everything I knew, everything. I just couldn't go on. That's what it was like. A moment of sheer desperation like that unlocks doors into wisdom, doors that have never been seen in ordinary life. One such door opened to me then, and I went through it. Frankly, there was no alternative. I remembered 2 short words: let go. I had heard those words many times before. I had expounded on their meaning to my friends. I thought I knew what they meant. Such was my delusion. I was willing to attempt anything, so I tried letting go. 100% letting go. For the first time in my life, I really let go. What happened next shook me. That terrible pain immediately vanished. It was replaced with the most delectable bliss. Wave upon wave of pleasure thrilled through my body. My mind settled into a deep state of peace, so still, so delicious. I meditated easily, effortlessly now. After my meditation, in the early hours of the morning, I lay down to get some rest. I slept soundly, peacefully. When I woke up in time for my monastic duties, I noticed I had a toothache, but it was nothing compared to the previous night.